Hi everyone, welcome to my video. I'm Kerry and I'm going to be continuing on the Train an Animal series, and today will be part 3 and I'll be showing you how to do this elephant. I'll be using grey and I'll be using 4-ply crochet cotton. I'll also use white for the tusks, and for the eyes I'll be using very fine crochet cotton. I'll use number 100, but you could use sewing thread, probably 2 strands would be good, or you could even use felt, little circles of felt. You'll also need a crochet hook, sewing or darning needle and scissors. Now I find it easier to stitch my work together with sewing thread, so I'll be using a matching thread, but you use whatever you're comfortable with. We'll get started. Now I'll be starting with the head and with my grey cotton, and I'll start with a magic loop. You start as if you're doing a chain and pull it through, a loop through, and you've got a little circle. Instead of pulling it tight, you pull it looser, and then 3 chain, and we're going to work 14 double crochet into the loop. A double crochet is yarn around, in through the circle and pick up a loop, yarn around, go pull through 2, yarn around through 2. So we're going to work 14 double crochet. When you've finished your 14, you grab hold of the tail and pull it as tight as you can. And then work a slip stitch in the 3rd chain. A slip stitch, you push the hook through the chain, grab hold of a loop and take it through both your loops. For the 2nd row we do 3 chain, and we're going to work a double crochet in the same spot as the chain. And then for each stitch around we're going to work 2 double crochet. I have my patterns on my website. The details of my website are in the description down below. I do my patterns in both UK and US terminology. At the end of the row we slip stitch into the third chain, and that's our head. So we'll fasten that off. Next I'm going to do the trunk. For the trunk we start with 20 chain. Now we're going to do a treble in the 5th chain from the hook. For a treble you put your yarn around twice, and then into the 5th chain we pass our hook and pick up a loop, yarn around through 2, yarn around through 2, and yarn around through 2. Now we're going to work 4 more treble into the next 4 chain. Then we'll work a double crochet into the next stitch. Next we're going to work 3 decreased double crochet over the next 6 stitches. So for a decreased double crochet, yarn around into the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn around, take off 2, then yarn around into the next stitch, yarn around, take off 2, yarn around, take off the 3. So we do 2 more of them. So yarn around into the next stitch, pick up a loop, yarn around, take off 2, then yarn around into the following stitch, pick up a loop, yarn around through 2, and yarn around through the 3. So 1 more of those. Now that gives us the nice bend for the trunk. Now we're going to do 2 decrease half double crochets. So for those we do yarn around in through the chain and pick up a loop, yarn around in through the next chain and pick up a loop, yarn around and through all our stitches, and then we'll do another one into our last 2 stitches. The last one's a bit tricky. Now for the end of the trunk we work 1 half double crochet into the end, then 2 chain, slip stitch in the same spot, and then 2 chain and a half double crochet. and then you slip stitch just in the joining the first chain, and that's what your end will look like. So we'll finish off our trunk. And that's how your trunk should look. Next we'll make the ears. We're going to start with a magic loop again, and work 3 chain. Now we'll work 10 double crochet into the loop. And then we grab hold of the tail and pull the loop tight, but we don't join. So we've got like a half circle, a bit more than a half circle. Then we do 3 chain, and we turn our work, and then we work back up the other side. For the first 2 we'll do 1 double crochet in those 2 stitches, first 2 stitches. And round the curve we're going to work 2 double crochet into each stitch until the last 2. In the last 2 we'll work 1 double crochet into each stitch. And that's our ear. I'll fasten that one off. I'm going to make the tusks now. So I'll start with 4 chain, and I'm going to do 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. A single crochet is hook into the chain, pull up a loop, yarn round, take off 2. Next I'll do a half double crochet, which is yarn round, in through the chain, pull up a loop, yarn round, take off the 3, and then a double crochet in the last chain. And there's your tusk. Fasten it off. For the eyes, I'm using very fine cotton, 100 cotton. I'm going to make a magic loop, one chain, and I'm going to do 6 single crochet into the loop. And I'm going to pull the loop tight by the tail and then slip stitch in the chain. And I'm going to leave a bit of a tail on this so I can stitch it on. So the eye's only very tiny. I'll now make another ear, eye and tusk and fasten off my endings, and I'll be back to show you how to put it together. Now my elephant's ready to stitch together, so I'll start by attaching the trunk. The trunk goes in the centre with the top just above where the circle is. So I'll start down here and just sew the trunk on. And then I'll just secure it down at the bottom. Next I'll attach the ears. They just go in one each side. Just like that. So I'll attach them. I'll probably gather them in a little bit. Run the thread through here, through the edge. And just gather it in and bring it in there. So I'll attach this ear and the other ear, and I'll come back. Next I'm going to stitch the eyes on. Now they're going to go at the top of the trunk, just to either side, just about there. So I've left a tail, so I'm going to use the tail to stitch them on. and the other one the other side. In there. I'll just attach that one and I'll be back. Now the tusks just go beside the trunk like that, so I'll stitch them on. And the other one will just the other side, pointing down. So I'll stitch that on and come back. Now the last thing I'm going to do is put a bit of black on the eyes, down the bottom of the eyes. You could use black fabric paint, or perhaps even a bead, or if you're using felt, just a tiny piece of black felt. Just a little bit of black so that, just to give a bit of detail on the eye. Like that. So I'll finish the other one and I'll be back. Now there's the finished elephant. It will go in one of my carriages. Next time I'll be doing a tiger. If you like my videos, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.